Every Friday and Saturday, I would go there and literally stand next to them. Please give me a chair, give me a chair, give me a chair. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour. It was always no. And literally, I stood there from the minute they started to the minute it ended, standing next to them.
To me, it's real disrespectful because a lot of these DJs, they don't even know what crates are. They don't even know what white labels are.
A lot of people don't know now. They don't know about the bringing the crates era.
Yeah.
Right now, they just see a DJ bring a bag, put his HDMI in the joint and just keep rocking.
What is a DJ without having mic skills? You have to be able to talk to the people. Who gonna give the birthday shout outs? Shout out the artist. Who's gonna shout out the song? When the party's dead, who's gonna lift people up?
What was your moment in your DJ career when you was like, nigga, I made it?
I've always been a firm believer of earning your resume, earning your opportunities, earning your rate, just earning your opportunities in this music industry. So he asked me how I'm doing, asked me how the family was, we spoke, and then he's like, yo, you ready? I'm like, ready for what? Like, you ready to be on the radio? Instantly, I started crying. I cried. All the tears came out. If you earn your way and they still don't pay you, then I think that's sucker shit by anybody who don't pay the people who bring something to the table.
Podcast Central, Coast of Chronicles NYC. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy, Tank Sinatra, a.k.a. Taino Domingo, a.k.a. call me anything but late for dinner because I love to eat. Stop playing with me, man. You already know the vibes. I keep the activation king on deck. To the left of me. Talk to me, sir. Dren Star.
What's going on, baby?
Always
Another
you,
week,
sometimes me, man.
Another episode, you know what I'm saying? We tuned into everybody's living room right now.
So we tuning in.
Yeah, we got to do this. Yo, I never thought I'd be saying this. Like, comment, subscribe. That's the lingo.
No. That's what we got to do. But just to everybody know, I forgot to mention, we in the Duce Lounge, man. You feel me? Like my brother said, like, subscribe, stop. You know what I'm saying? Just looking and not. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Takes nothing.
We getting some views and all of that. So you know what I'm saying? I just want to thank everybody. We appreciate the love. You know what I mean? Big shout out to our sponsors, Duce. You know, it's Duce, double cross everything. And big shout out to Red Bull. You know what I'm saying? It's happening. It's happening. You know what I'm saying? So
haven't slept yet. God damn.
Let's get to it.
But you know what happens around this time, man. So let me talk my shit. So our next guest, born and raised in the heart of New York City's Lower East Side. His name is synonymous with the pulse of the city's vibrant music and lifestyle scene. With over a decade of experience, he has seamlessly evolved from the days of crate digging and local house parties to becoming one of the top talents in the city. He's not only a DJ, but a creative force, an accomplished sneaker designer, brand ambassador, event host, and business owner. His sets, known for signature blends of R&B, hip-hop, and brunch vibes, have made waves at some of the biggest events in New York City has to offer. As the creator of Bel Air Brunch, he's redefined what it means to experience brunch in the cities, creating a perfect mix of beats and atmosphere. His production company, DJ Trase LLC, goes beyond the decks, offering event planning and DJ services for celebrity events and high-profile occasions. His journey to the top of the NYC music scene includes major performances at events like 50 Years of Hip Hop Celebration. DJ K slays legendarily rolling 200 deep with Body That Too. He regularly takes his talents to the airways on platforms like Hot 97, Sirius XM, Shade 45, and Fly, reaching a global audience. But beyond the music, he is deeply connected to his community. He worked with the Thrive Collection for over 10 years, contributing to local initiatives and giving back to the city that shaped us. His impact has even reached the small screen, appearing in 3 Knicks commercials, oh my God, being featured in HBO Max's 38 at the Garden documentary. This introduction highlights his journey, achievements, and community focus while creating excitement around his brand and future. And I introduce my boy, DJ Trase.
What up?
LES, stand up.
What up, man? Dren, what up, man? What up?
Welcome to the Duce Lounge, brother.
Thank you for inviting me, man.
You know what I'm saying? This is an invite only. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got to stress, I got to tell a lot of people, this
Right.
is an invite only. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Nah, appreciate the invite.
All right, let's get it.
Listen, my brother, you know, I want to invite you to the show, and my condolences for what's going to happen this evening. But we'll talk about that later on in the interview. So, you understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
yeah, he
man.
DJs for the Knicks and all that, like I said earlier, man. Them bums. But brother, talk to me, man. How you feeling today, man?
I'm all right, man. I'm good, you know. Staying busy and staying consistent.
Got
You
you,
know what I'm
got
saying?
you, got you. So I like to start off by giving the audience a little backstory on your life and everything like that. So share with the people out there in the cyber world about your early bring up and stuff like that.
As a DJ or just
No. From You know what I'm saying? When you was a
Yeah.
child growing up in the Lower
Yeah.
East Side, what was the whole dynamic?
Yeah. Born and raised in the Lower East Side, 4th Street Avenue D, Lily Wall Projects. Grew up in a 2-parent household, mother, father. My brothers.
Dope.
Got 2 older brothers. Got a sister-in-law. Got a god sister that I call my sister because we was born and raised together since we were babies. I just grew up in an era out here where, you know, late 80s, early 90s, where Dren, you from the Lower East Side, it was very music driven, DJ driven actually in the Lower East Side. Like Sundays was always a party in the East River. You know what I'm saying? You could catch a whole bunch of DJs just DJing from like the afternoon all the way till 4 in the morning. There was always block parties out here. You remember East Side Sports when
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, when they used to do the Lower East Side of thing and give out jerseys and everything. And then in Lillian Wall projects, if you from Lillian Wall, there was always, like blue courts versus green courts, and there was always like a DJ here, a DJ there. So I grew up around DJs. So recently I just realized that I don't know what else I would have been if there wasn't no DJs around, my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And my brother was uh a DJ, just for hobby purposes. I don't think he was in the clubs at that time, but he had the old, carpet crates, the carpet cases on the turntables and everything. He had the techniques, he had the Gemini mixer, so I basically was born and raised around DJs. You know what I'm saying? So I
He
don't,
get inspiration.
yeah, he when I was younger, I used to say 6 to 8, but I confirmed this with my sister-in-law. She said it was about like 8 or 9. You know what I'm saying? So at an early age, um, I used to just watch him get dressed up with the button up, the shoes. I know he was going to the club, but he would DJ before he go to the club. And he had the records, the freestyle records, the house records, the hip hop records, and it just intrigued me. You know what I'm saying? And I always wanted to be in the room, and he never allowed me to be in the room. So every time he used to leave the door open, I'll go in there and I'll start messing with everything, start touching, the faders and start touching the records and everything. He'd come back, he'd be pissed, you know what I'm saying? But he got into car racing at an early age, and he passed down the equipment he had down to me. You know what I'm saying? And I was always going outside to the block parties, to the parties in the basketball courts in the Lower East Side, to the East River. I was always around DJs. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cuffy Cuff. Shout out to Ray Nice. Shout out to Ralphie Ralph. Shout out to Ra Ra, who was a great DJ, still is, who was raised and born around me as well too. So shout out to all them guys, man. I grew up watching them guys.
So who was your first influential, the one that was like, yo, let me put you under my wing so you can learn how this thing go down?
I mean, I don't think that's a good question. Nobody's ever asked me that, actually, ever. Um, I don't think anybody ever put me under their wing. I just
Not even
think
under the wing,
I
but be a
just think
mentor
that
to you type
I,
shit.
I don't even think I had mentors like that. I
All right,
just
so
I
hold on.
just think that I was around people who were DJs, and I just learned from watching and just being in the atmosphere. They always invited me out. They always embraced me when I was around. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't. I don't think I was even paying attention to that at an early age. Like if somebody was trying to be my mentor or anything like that, I was just around it.
So who did you look up to as a DJ? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like on the radio and stuff like that.
Whatever. Like, I'm
Well,
sure there was a DJ that.
outside of
Oh, we
the
was old back then.
yeah, so
they wasn't on
outside of
TV like on the radio.
outside of the legends out here in the Lower East Side, I grew up listening to Red Alert and Funk Flex, and then the mixtape era came where we had Burkina out here, the first
Yeah,
Burkina
house and shit,
shop.
facts.
So I was copping DJ Juice mixtapes, K Slay when he was doing R&B blends, rest in peace, Mr. C, Tony Touch, G-Bo the Pro, Double R. You know what I'm saying? Like I was getting those mixtapes. I was buying the tapes. I was spending my last bit of money, you know what I'm saying, just to get tapes. You feel me? And I grew up on that mixtape era, So those are the DJs that really inspired me, you know what I'm saying? Especially like G-Bo the Pro, Double R, Tony Touch, Flex, Mr. C. I grew up listening to them guys, you know what I'm saying?
So how many years have you been DJing?
Like like DJing or DJing officially like in
So
the
we're gonna,
spots?
yeah, it's a two-part question. How many years you been DJing, and then when did you take it serious?
I,
Like,
I've been DJing since I was, I could say like 8 years old.
okay,
Yeah.
so you got
Yeah.
you got some time. And so, what was the next moment where like I'm taking this serious? Like your first gig, because pretty sure you did 1,000 house parties, you did
Yeah.
mad block parties, but
Yeah.
what was your first gig that you was like, oh, I'm here now?
So
The
this is
phone is
crazy.
ringing.
I don't think I got a chance to say this too much. Maybe I said it once, but I don't get to tell the story too much. So I'm glad you asked me that. Um so after my house party days, after the baby showers and the birthdays and doing the local gigs like that, um I just my friends pressured me. They was like, "Yo, you got to stop doing these. You got to be in the spots now. Like you're that nice. You could be in the spots." You know what I'm saying? And I really don't remember how like what drove me to go to this spot, but there was Sutra. So Sutra used to be called Bar 16.
Okay.
Evil D was the resident DJ there. I just told Evil D this story. And he was shocked when I told him. So Evil D was there. This was before Sutra. This was before it was called anything else. It was called Bar 16. So the two security guards who was there was D and Ra. Ra's one of the owners and managers of Katra right now. So I've been working around him for over 20 something years. So he was the head security guard there with D. Every Friday and Saturday, I would go there and literally stand next to them, be like, please give me a chance, give me a chance, give me a chance. Whatever I could do, just give me a chance, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever. It was always no. And literally, I stood there from the minute they started to the minute it ended, standing next to them until one day, Ra was like, yo, go get your stuff. I'm giving you a chance. You ready? I literally ran up the block. I got my stuff, came back with half the hood, and
How
I
many
was
crates?
there.
How many crates? How many
I
crates?
don't even remember.
This
I
is
want to
no,
hold
no,
on,
no.
hold on,
I
hold on
don't even
before you
remember,
go there,
man.
because you sped
Yeah.
through a little bit, because that's what I wanted to get to. Because a lot of people don't know now. They don't know about the bringing the crates era.
Yeah.
Right now, they just see a DJ bring a bag, put his
Yeah.
his HDMI in the joint,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just keep rocking. But
Yeah.
so when you was that era, when you started doing like the house parties and the, like you said, Sweet 16s and all that.
Yeah.
How was it moving all those crates? Like, who was helping you move all those crates? And explain to the viewers like what that means. What we talking
Well,
about?
remember,
with the
so
crates.
I came up in the digging the crates era.
What
You
does
know what
that
I'm
mean?
saying? But having crates of records and transporting them around with you. I came up in that era. When I started doing the parties, it's the era where it was transitioning from crates of records to CDs. You know what I'm saying? So I came from the records going into the CDs. So I was carrying both. You know what I'm saying? To the point where I got tired of the records and I just started carrying around books of CDs.
So when you carry
You know what I'm saying?
What's your opinion now? Because the game changed a lot when it comes to a DJ. To me, it's real disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these DJs, they don't even know what crates are. They don't even know
Right.
what white labels are. What do you think about the era now where these DJs buy a laptop and they go on eBay or something, they buy a hard drive full of every record that was ever put out without putting in no work or no dues. What's your feedback on that?
Well, I used to be very, very negative towards that topic. You know what I'm saying? But then I started to realize that a lot of these young DJs didn't grow up in our era, didn't have the luxury of being in front of turntables or having people that would let them rock on turntables or teach them how to rock on turntables and mixers that didn't have buttons or whatever, sync buttons or whatever and
They don't even know
controllers.
what a
They
Technique
didn't
1200
they didn't
is.
have that luxury of being around that. So I don't blame them when it comes to not being able to grow up around that, but I do blame them to an extent where you can choose to learn that. When you don't choose to learn that and you don't choose to learn the history of your craft and you don't know how to rock on it, then I blame that on you. I think that's Can I curse?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's
yeah.
some sucker shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, learn your craft, learn your history, so that way you know how to play on everything. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you choose not to learn on all types of equipment, then that's on you. You're there's nobody to blame but you. You know what I'm saying? But we can't blame them if they didn't grow up in that era and they didn't have those tools around them to learn.
That's a fair
You know what
answer.
I'm
Like,
saying?
yeah, that's a
Like,
fair answer.
yeah.
That's yeah.
So going back to that night that you rocked out, right? How many
Yeah.
crates you had with you that night?
Yo, I honestly I don't remember, but I think I brought both. I think I brought records and CDs.
Okay, so you was already
To my knowledge.
You was already that was already
Yeah.
transitioning to the
Yeah.
CD. So now when you say you brought CDs, is it
I
similar?
brought both.
No, I'm just saying because I need to understand because I'm
Yeah.
not a DJ.
Yeah.
I only remember the crates. I don't
Yeah.
know. I wasn't here for when it transitioned to what it is right now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I was in camp.
Right.
You know what
In
I'm
the
saying?
mountains up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
Right.
man. You was upstate
I
doing
was
the
said it right. He
big.
said
I was in
camp.
camp.
He
I
said
was in
you was
camp.
doing some
You know what I'm
time. You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Okay.
So look, so when you doing the CDs, is it the same way that you was mixing with the 12s? Like how was it like?
Well, at
Make
the
me
time,
understand because I was there.
at the time
Rest in peace to my homie Carl Blaze. You know what I'm
at the
saying?
time that I started with the CDs, I was using dual CD players made by Newmark at the time. You know what I'm saying? And if I remember correctly, it was just blending and transitioning. We had the buttons, we had like a little circle where some of them you could scratch, but some of them was really like pitch level stuff where you had to slow it down, speed it up, however, and just blend it. You know what I'm saying? Um, so we had that. Or I had that. You know what I'm saying? Then it got to the point where they started making more newer technology where you could scratch on CDs, but you had to have certain digital turntables, certain digital, CD players that allowed you to do that. So I went through that era as well too. You know what I'm
Alright,
saying? But I grew up learning how to transition and to blend. So that was the first thing that I learned. I didn't learn how to do basic scratch until later.
All right, so I'm gonna touch on a subject that I know a lot of DJs is going jack right now. You know what I'm saying? You are our first DJ on this platform.
Appreciate that.
So again, like you guys deserve a platform just like everyone else does. And I hate because I came from that era, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
what is your take on how DJs get overlooked and the pay scale when you have a legend like yourself?
Oh shit.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. You know what I'm saying? Because now you have someone like you that got 20 plus years in, and then you got DJ Shortcakes that just bought a laptop and a hard drive, and he's charging $100 to rock for 5 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your take on that, bro?
Talk your shit, bro.
I appreciate that question, man.
Unapologetic.
I'm gonna say that I've always been a firm believer of earning your resume, earning your opportunities, earning your rate, just earning your opportunities in this music industry. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like if you're a DJ that started from the bottom and you're at a certain point in your career and people know that, then you should be paid accordingly. You know what I'm saying? If you paid your dues, you should be paid, according to the dues that you paid in your resume. But in this era, it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? And also when it comes to business and promoters, it's kind of like, let's say you hire me and you've never heard me or you never heard of me, then I'm not gonna force you to try to pay me my rate because of my resume. I would rather take the opportunity to earn my position, you know what I'm saying, and my rate with you so you can know what it is that I do. And then when you do see it, you can see that my resume matches my actions and matches my talent. That way, when I renegotiate with you, you know what I'm saying, you can't say no to me because I already done shown and proved to you what I could do, and it does match what my resume says. You know what I'm saying? I'm a firm believer in earning whatever it is that you ask for in this industry. Now, if you earn your way and they still don't pay you, then I think that's sucker shit by anybody who don't pay the people who bring something to the table. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times now in this era, it's like they want you to bring all these people, they want you to do all this, they want you to do all that, but they're not giving you multiple checks, but they want you to do multiple jobs. Back in the day, if you was nice, the promoter hired you to DJ. Your job was to keep people dancing and keep people in the venue. Now it's like they want you to do the flyer. They want you to do your own flyer. They want you to bring 100 people out. They want you to make sure people buying bottles. They want you to make sure people buying tickets. Whatever. But are they giving you a PC of each and every one of those
Hell no.
things that are attached to the club and the party? No. And then they want to give you 150, 200, 5 hours, 6 hours. Nah, I don't think that's right, especially if you earned your position in that team or in that situation. You know what I'm saying? If you're a promoter and you hire me for a whole year or 6 months for $50, $100, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, people trying to get in, you trying to get your foot in, I get it. But after that 6 months, if you don't give me a raise or you're not trying to pay me my rate or something close to my rate, then I think that's wrong of the person who's trying to hire you. They don't see your potential. They don't see what you bring to the table, and they're not really trying to make you really part of the situation. You know what I'm saying? They're just taking advantage.
So
that's just my take. You know what I'm saying?
just a question, because I want to go back a little bit, but just off of what you said right now, like back in like from 01, I want to say to 03, my brother DJ Carl Blaze, once again, like I said, rest in peace. He used to deal with a particular promoter.
Yeah.
Do you do the same, or do you just freelance your
Well,
work to
I'm gonna
whoever?
be totally honest.
You're a free agent.
I'm gonna be totally honest. I've never been shy to say this. I always hated promoters because I felt like they always try to dictate the job of a DJ. You know what I'm saying? But at a certain point in my career, I ended up dealing with promoters who treated me well. Shout out to Mike Boogie. He was the first promoter from Brooklyn who hired me to do Susie Wong's, HK Lounge, to do Pink Elephant, to do Greenhouse, to do, all these things. So I was doing this early in my career and he believed in it. But there were certain situations within that time where it was kind of like, sometimes he would come up to me and be like, yo, they don't want you to do this, or they don't want you to talk on the mic, or they don't want you to do no blends. Just play the music, use the opening DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like they would, the situation was trying to groom me a certain way that I didn't want, that I didn't accept. But I understood that it was my early career in the clubs. So I had to earn my way. I had to
make your name.
Yeah, you understand? So I understood that. So I didn't agree with it, but I appreciate those times that I went through with that. And then, there were certain people like, Juggernaut and Visual Vandal from Queens who hired me to do a lot of spots, you know what I'm saying, in Queens. You had Wes Fuller from Brooklyn who hired me to do some stuff in Brooklyn, and then now my current manager, Chase Sims, he's one of the top, promoters in New York. He helped me look at what the landscape is now for parties and this younger era of partying and going out and being a part of events. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to learn from that young man. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Chase Sims. I was able to learn from what it is now to be a DJ in this current time and era. You know what I'm saying? And I was able to bring my expertise from everything that I learned from the past into what I'm doing now. So I'm blessed to be able to do both, the younger parties, the older parties, and whatever type of parties are in between. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So since you spoke about your beginning after Evil D, that show, talk to me about the transition, how it went from the crates to the CDs to where it is now. Like,
wow,
how was the transition?
The transition was difficult. Serato, after the records was the CDs, and then came the digital era with the laptop and Serato and stuff like that. I don't talk about thumb drives because I think that's some EDM house DJ stuff. So shout to y'all, but I'm not gonna say that.
A lot of these dudes do that though.
Cool,
bro.
but that's not where I'm from.
Even right now though.
Cool, but that's not where I'm from, so I can't talk about it.
That'd
You know
be
what I'm saying?
disgusting.
So I'm gonna say records, I'm gonna say CDs, and then came the digital era. I was still walking around with maybe 20 books of CDs, and Serato was out. People was on their laptops, Serato was out. Actually, a friend of mine who, at the time, he went out and he was like, yo, you're nice, like you got to transition. You know what I'm saying? My friend at the time, Danny, he went out and he bought me my first laptop and he bought me Serato. Because we was in business together. You know what I'm saying? So it was like an investment in me. This is the first time I'm saying this live too. So I had to transition like all my records and my CDs, my MP3s into digital files, which took me such a long time to do. But, you know, I ended up doing it and I got into Serato.